Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with the daily technical updates. Today we'll start with the ASML that released earnings this morning and also guidance. Guidance were quite conservative, and what we can also see that the share price opened this morning at just around 946, trading a little bit lower already. And we can see here that it actually below the support at 943. It is below the rising trend line here. We actually have this wedge-like pattern. So I see if it can't close the gap that it created from yesterday, meaning it needs to close above 978, well then there is definitely a downtrend towards 900, possibly lower here in the coming days. So not too good for ASML. That has been fairly strong most of the year. Looking a little bit ahead, the weekly chart, it is in the making, a top and reversal pattern in the making. You can see here we have a doji last week, Bearish move this week so far. Up until then it was a bullish move, so we have this doji evening star like top and reversal pattern. Also indicated that we were in a stressed uptrend with the divergence. You can see that the RSI has been declining, so really under pressure for ASML. US market higher yesterday, especially Dow Jones, that was dragged higher by better than expected earnings in banks. They really pushed it higher, almost to 41,000 yesterday. I would expect a little bit of a setback here the next couple of days, just a little bit of correction. S&P 500, we have also new higher level. It actually canceled the top and reversal pattern, which was not that a big surprise because we did not have any divergence on the RSI, but now it seems like it's building up. So maybe this is the last push towards 5,700, and then we have a correction. But let's see, it's not really there yet. I would say, okay, for now, I will have a support here around 55.76. That is the minor support to keep an eye on. But for now, we still trust the trend. It is up. Nasdaq, on the other hand, still struggling, didn't do much, almost unchanged yesterday because the big tech caps, they didn't really move much. In the US market, sorry, in the European market, 48.88 key support could be tested after EUROSTOXX 50 failed to stay above 5,000. RSI was rejected at 60, so if it takes out 48.88, well then we could see a sell-off down to around 4,800. DAX, well, yeah, it closed above 18,630, but it's really struggling. I mean, we have positive sentiment, but this is a bit of worry that it couldn't stay above. I think we will maybe see a little bit of counter trend the next couple of days, but again, I would be fairly cautious on the German DAX also, because it's not really promising, and I don't think it will make a new highs anytime soon. Amsterdam index, of course, will be affected by the ASML. So now we are below 930, which is the first support. 918 is the more important support here, as you can see. That's really a key, but also a strong support. We have the 55 moving average coming up, giving some support there. So let's see in the next couple of days, but I think it will be tested that 918 level. CAC 40 still in this range here, so not much news. 77.25 is 74.64, and finally the Swiss market bouncing a little bit, and I think it will push higher here in the coming days, possibly above 12,500 if the Swiss banks, they can also hold there, and Rostad also just announced some phase 1 positive trials on their obesity drug. There is a little bit of divergence on the RSI, so we are in a stretch situation. If it drops below 12,180, then expect further selling. On the FX market and your dollar still being rejected at 109.16, it really needs to take out the spike up there 9 and 122 for further upside to 109.80. It seems to be struggling, but we are in a positive sentiment, so we should see higher highs. A bit of movement in sterling this morning. We can see that the selling pressure has resumed after CPI numbers that were released this morning. I still believe that we will see euro sterling pushing towards 83.50, 83.40 area in this area here over the next week, 2 weeks or something like that. Cable sterling dollar testing the resistance here just below 130, and I think we'll push higher here in the coming days towards 130 and a half, possibly 130, 135. No divergence on the RSI, indicating likely higher levels on cable. Dollar yen is selling pressure is resuming, and it seems to that we are to be taking out the support here at 157.37, and if it does take out the lows there 157.14, well then I think we'll see a selling pressure down to 156.13, which is 786 retracement. It really needs to take out 158.85 to resume uptrend. Euro yen also turning around, and as I mentioned previously, it's rare that we see just a 50% correction. I think we will have a look at the 170.5, which is a 61.8 retracement, and possibly all the way down to the 786 retracement and the lower rising trend line. But the 55 moving average will give some support, and there's no divergence on the RSI. So let's see, maybe it's just down to the 170.5 level. Aussie yen already broken lower and is now also breaking below the 50% retracement. I think we'll see it down to 105.20, possibly dipping down just below 105 here on the short term. The sterling yen testing the lower rising trend line, but together with the other yen pairs, I think we will see it taking out the 203.95 and push lower here today and in the coming days. I think we need a larger correction than what we have seen so far. But if it does hold, and if it takes out the peak from yesterday, 205.80, well then it will resume uptrend. Aussie dollar, also a correction underway, and let's just add a little bit of Fibonacci there. So we are currently at 38.2 retracement at 67.13. We could dip down all the way to 66.60, which is the 61.8 retracement. I'm not quite sure we will get there because we are in a positive sentiment. There's no divergence. We are in an uptrend, so I think it will resume uptrend here the next couple of days. Dollar Canada still in this wide range here, so I'm not going to mention it. I'm just repeating myself again and again and again. Euro Swiss, expect a little bit of a setback to around 97, maybe a little bit lower. If it takes out a 97.75, well then expect the uptrend to resume towards 786 retracement at 98.40. Dollar Swiss, there's a pressure here. We have the 55 moving coming down. If it takes out 61.8 retracement at 89.12, I see it down to 88.75. To resume uptrend, it really needs to get back above a 90 level. Dollar index, could we have a retest of 103.68? That is the key support to look out for. Moving on to commodities and metals, and gold is on fire lately and has performed a new all-time high above 24.50. There's no divergence here short term, so I expect gold to push towards 25.12, and that was to be the same distance as you can see here. I added this arrow here, that distance between the lows and the highs in this correction range here, and we have this descending like triangle. Well, that gives an indication to 25.12, which is also the 138.2 projection, and possibly up to 25.50. That's the 161.8 projection, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get up there in the next few weeks. But expect a little bit short-term correction before next push. It will probably test 2450 support now. It was a resistance, now it's a support. Silver, interestingly, can't really push higher and is actually down today. It must close above, no, it must break above 31.76. That's a spike up here from the 11th of July. Then I think we'll see a new highs towards a 34 level. I think it will take out that previous peak, and you can also see we have this triangle-like pattern here, and that gives an indication towards 34. But it really needs to take out that level there. So for now, still a little bit range bound. On the platinum, well, it's still 1015. It needs to get back above. Don't know why it spiked above and then it collapsed again, and that's not a good sign. Also, that there's the RSI didn't close above 60 threshold, and it needs to do that combined with 10,015. Copper also heavy. Copper heavy. Sliding slowly lower. If it takes out 432.90, well, then we could see it towards 425, 413, where we have some support, but we don't have any support until then. So it looks fairly heavy. You can also see the 55 moving average slowly turning around here. So I don't think we'll see copper above 470 anytime soon. On the energy market, with the crude oil, Brent crude oil trading, dipping just above $80, and the 38.2 retracement at 79.92. I think it could be tested, but we have the 100 moving, giving a little bit of support, as you can see here. So there is some support in this area where I think it could bounce back a little bit. But if it drops below $80, the selling pressure could intensify, and we could see lower levels towards 78.50, maybe even lower. But I think we will be bouncing back. Brent is a little bit heavier than WTI, currently trading around the 38.2 retracement, but also here support at the 55 and the 200 moving average. So I think we'll see a little bit of a bounce. We're still in a positive sentiment on the RSI, so I think we'll see a little bit of bounce, but I don't think we will get back to the $90 levels anytime soon. Finally, on the US 10-year Treasury yield, that yesterday closed below 417 support, trying to get back above this morning, but we are in a bearish trend with potential down to around 4%. All right, that's all for today. Maybe we should just, for the fun of it, just round off with ASML and see the development here this morning. Has anything done? Yeah, massive sell-off. It is being hit. Already touched 900, almost 903. So really a selling pressure, but bargain hunters will also come in here. But I expect it to end between the 943 and 900 today. But let's see. There's really massive action going on. All right, that's all for today. Have a nice day and happy trading.